Good evening, everybody. Back for a little more Friday night philosophy, and it's pretty late on Friday night or early Saturday morning, depending on how you view the clock. But I actually dozed off a little bit this evening and woke up and thought, I gotta get a video done. But nevertheless, it's been an exciting day. My Beagle turned 10 years old today. Barney Beagle is 10 years old, but he's a rescue that I picked up at our local pound, and he's been man's best friend ever since. I've had him for 8.5 years. 8.5 wonderful and infuriating years. I don't know if you've ever owned a Beagle, any of you, but they are willful, they are smart, they're maybe just a touch devious. Um, he likes to mess with me. He doesn't want me to know that he's smart and that he understands what I'm talking about. Um, but he gets a lot of stuff, but he'll play dumb about it. No, I didn't. No, no, not gonna listen. Nope, didn't hear you. Didn't hear you. Sorry. These big old ears, I couldn't hear what you were saying. He's fantastic. And if you have a dog, you got to know food matters. Um, when I adopted him from the pound, he was drinking dog chow. Eating dog chow, I apologize. Eating dog chow. And never bothered to switch his food. Just assumed that, dog chow it's dog food. Well, he got pretty lethargic over the last couple of years and put on a whole lot of weight. And on a whim about a year ago, I switched him over to Beneful dog food. And over the last 6 months, he's dropped, I don't know, 10 pounds. And his energy level has gone through the roof. I mean, I can't believe I'm looking at a 10-year-old dog. He has so much energy and he's playful and he's mischievous and fun all over again. I'm not sure I needed another puppy, so to speak. I thought we were through the puppy phase. He's rejoined his youthful puppyhood, which has been both good and bad. He doesn't chew on stuff, but he'll tear open garbage bags. He'll sneak out of the gate if he gets a chance. It's been fun. I mean, seriously, if you have a dog, if you've ever had a dog, you know what all of this is about. Dogs are wonderful people. So it's been a great experience having the same dog find his puppyhood twice. But I was gonna got me thinking today. With him being 10, reminded me of my first dog from when I was growing up. And Sally was her name. She was a mutt. She was part Beagle, but part any number of other things. And she was just a little sprite. Didn't even come up to, barely above my ankles. And she was an outside dog. My mother would not allow the dog in the house. So, my only dog growing up was an outdoor dog. Um, the only bad part of that was I think through a lot of my childhood I took it for granted. I didn't probably play with her as much as I should have because she wasn't immediately accessible. If I was inside, she was outside. So I didn't see her, therefore wasn't on the front of my mind. But I think I was always on the front of her mind. And that's one of the reasons why they're man's best friend. My mom used to tell me the story. Once I turned 14, I lived in a rural community, very small town. Once I turned 14, I was able to drive to school 10 miles away. And I would get up in the morning, go to school, or hop in my car, drive to school. And in the evening, after extracurriculars, basketball practice, etc., was done, I would drive back home. But Mom would tell the story of how my puppy, Sally, could hear me coming at least a half mile away. Again, small community. We lived on the edge of a very small town. But my dog knew the sound of my car. 77 Grand Prix with crappy exhaust. And from a half mile away, she would come out of her doghouse and go wait at the end of the driveway. Just waiting for me to come home and pull in. And that is such a heart-warming and happy thought to think about, that there's somebody out there, or an animal out there, that is so excited to see you that from a half mile away they can hear your vehicle. And they will come and wait for you to park your car just so you can say goodnight, just so you can say hello, whatever that is. And that's what she'd do. And I always knew it. There she was, waiting for me. And how cool. I mean, seriously, how cool. And Mom would also tell the story on the nights where I was headed to a friend's house. Drive past the house. And my dog would sit at the end of the driveway and just kind of look around like, wait, what just happened? How come he didn't stop? And that always stuck with me. And I remember, in her later years when I was 15 and 16 years old, coming home late at night, even in the cold of winter, when it was 10 degrees or 5 degrees outside, I knew she was getting old. We all knew. She had slowed down quite a bit. Still a good dog, still loved me. But I would come home at night, and it didn't matter how much snow was on the ground, how cold it was. I would sit down on the steps and just pet her for as long as she wanted to be petted, until she went back to her doghouse to be warm. And I will forever treasure and cherish those memories of her elderly years, when it was hard for her to come out and hang out with me. And it's too bad I didn't take more advantage of that when she was younger. But I think that's a life lesson we all have, is we tend not to appreciate things until it's too late, or almost too late. And, that's very, very hard to think about. But nevertheless, I just go back to those memories of her and her loyalty to me. And when she finally passed, it was a situation where I came home one night after practice, and she didn't meet me in the driveway. And I instantaneously knew she was gone. Even when she was sick, even when she was getting a little decrepit, she always would make it out to the driveway. And on this night, she wasn't there, and I knew why. And she had passed very quietly, and Mom explained that to me. Of course, there was no cell phone. She couldn't call and warn me. But, that type of love and loyalty is awfully hard to come by, whether it's a person, an animal, or whatever. I'm just fortunate enough that my Beagle, as mischievous as he is and can be, he loves me a lot too. And I think he takes joy in causing me grief. But he also curls up next to me at night. And you just wonder, what if, why aren't we more like the dogs that we love? How come we don't have that same level of loyalty and love for our friends or our loved ones? We show frustration in others that dogs just don't show. We can all stand to learn a lot from our pets. But gonna leave it there and sign off for the evening. It's been nice talking to you. I'm going to finish up the rest of my scotch and I'm going to call it quits because it is now almost 1:40 in the morning. But enjoyed my Beagle's birthday and I hope you guys are having a good night and have a great weekend. We'll talk to you soon.